if you've been involved in the home finance industry in the US for any length of time, you know that a lot of our processes seem a little outdated, maybe even archaic. Well, automation hasn't met the need as well as we thought it could. But what if we could create robotic agents that could handle that automation for us? Today, we're going to be talking to the co founders of TrueFocus Automation. It's Jimmy Lewis and Sridhar Loganathan, and they're going to talk to us about how they are working to reinvent the title industry. We'll talk to them right after this. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us this morning. So,
Morning.
so set the stage for us. Jimmy, maybe we can start with you. What exactly are you working on right now?
Well, Sridhar and I have started a company called TrueFocus Automation a few years ago, and our main goal is to leverage a service or tool called RPA, robotic process automation, to help our clients in the title and mortgage space become more efficient at the processes that they're working on today. So, in essence, building software bots to make processes that are manual, tedious, repetitive, and prone to error, more accurate and efficient.
Very good. So, Sridhar, I would ask you, why is that the proper approach to evolving our industry now?
Yeah, I think there couldn't have been a better time as the industry is seeing very low volumes, and everybody is going after more revenue. So if you don't create better differentiators, if your processes are not efficient and providing better customer experience, better value to your solutions, you could be finding it difficult to grow your revenue or volume. So I think RPA helps you to create your processes or make your processes more efficient, and build better customer experience and grow your revenue. So
All right, very good. Now, that's always been important in our industry, but is there some reason this is more important now than it has been in the past, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, I think because, and we've seen it over the last 24 months, the industry, I mean, I hate to say more competitive than ever, but it seems like it is. When the interest rates were at 3%, 3.5%, everybody had plenty of work. Now the industry is at 6-7% interest rate, so a lot of the activity has slowed down, and as a result of that, companies in the title and mortgage space have both made huge cuts to staff as well as their technology budgets. So, from what I've been gathering in the news, there are a lot of people who are stepping away from the title and mortgage space and doing something completely different. As you know, digital nomads is a big thing today, and everybody can't necessarily do mortgage and title from abroad. So when the industry does come back, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for automation to replace that staff that's just disappeared as a result of attrition, or potentially it's people who have been doing this for 30-40 years and they haven't trained people, or their company hasn't trained people to back them up, and they're going to retire. So as a result of attrition or people moving into different roles or different trades, there's going to be need something to be put in place to replace those folks. And we feel like RPA, any sort of automation to help take away some of that that workload that will be there with no one to handle it is going to be ideal.
Well, that makes perfect sense. Now, one of the things you said that caught my attention is that there's a lot of opportunity. And I picked this slide up from a deck that you guys had shared with me earlier. And I wonder if you guys can speak to this. This is a look at title automation, only the title side.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised to see so much. Are you guys currently working in all these areas, or tell me what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so this is our title automation wheel, and this is in the initial deck when we have a prospective client or lead who's interested in knowing what we could potentially do. It's specifically focused on title, not mortgage, as you said. And We've automated a process or multiple processes in pretty much every part of this wheel here, except for I would say the chatbot area. We've tried a couple there, done some proof of concepts, but typically people are more interested in buying like a proven instead of building a chatbot from scratch. There's plenty of off the shelf things that you can buy. So yes, all of those areas are areas where there tend to be processes that are manual, repetitive, a defined input, defined output, very structured, and they are candidates for automation. And so we do have um, use cases or business cases, videos on our website that kind of walk through a lot of those, not all of them, but we'd be more than happy to kind of talk to anyone who has a process that fits in that wheel, which I'm sure everybody who owns a title company and a closing company they're doing this work today. So.
Yeah. Now, Sridhar, as COO, a lot of this work of actually implementing this is going to fall to you and your team. Are you seeing title companies understanding the potential that we're seeing on this wheel, or are they still kind of locked in the past?
Yeah, I would say that we are talking to a lot of title companies, and the adoption has been slow, but with customers that have implemented have started with one process, and we've seen how they're soon able to scale from one bot to 3 bots, 5 bots, right? And their team, when we initially started, they were skeptical about bots and what is this RPA about. But once they start seeing some of these solutions implemented, how it's impacting their day-to-day work and making them much efficient, their teams come back to us and ask us, "Hey, can you automate this process?" So I think while the adoption has been slow, I think when they start, we've seen that the speed at which they add bots is better.
So another thing I found interesting about your presentation is that it's not an all or nothing deal, is it? They can start in a given area and then move. Talk to us about what we're seeing here.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
slides you're
go
showing
ahead.
right now. Oh, go ahead, Sridhar.
No, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say the slides you're showing right now, Rick, is part of. We have a tool that we've built or a solution called Title Hunter, which automates title search, online title search. And these are a variety of the products that you can get as a result of engaging with us on Title Hunter. And Title Hunter is a subscription-based, a month-to-month subscription-based solution where we're in about 18 states, and we offer a variety of products from as simple as a tax search or legal investing search to a true owner search. And so what we've done is, in our background, we were in the outsourcing space for quite a while. Sridhar and I have known each other since 2006. So we've both been in space for about 20 years. And we realized that a lot of the heavy lifting or manual repetitive upfront work happens to be in the title search side. Not necessarily exam and keying. That's not what we're focused on. But we're focused on providing solutions that can help, make your staff 2 to 3 more times efficient. And one of the key areas is title search. And like I said, pre-search or legal investing search, a 20-year search, a tax search and update. Now, the majority of that work is work that can be handled by a bot. Put a package together and send that back to your staff who has the knowledge to scrub that, review it, run a name variation, and examine that package and move it on to the next step. So taking 20, 30, 40 minutes out of a 40, 50, 60-minute process, as you can see, it could be very valuable when you put the dollars hourly paid to the
Well,
time.
sure. And that's a process that every single title company is engaged in every day. Sridhar, are you seeing the title agents and the title company owners that you're talking to understand how this might help them?
Yeah, I think they definitely see the value. Like I said, when they initially start, there is some skepticism, but when they start seeing how Title Hunter can help them, reduce the touch time on each file, their searchers or examiners are now able to process 2 to 3x more files than what they were processing. So definitely they see the value, and they come back to us in terms of, hey, can you customize the bots to do a few additional steps? So which we are very easily able to adapt as well.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're asking that question because in the past, we've had a lot of promises about how automation would fix all of our processes. And you guys know, you've been here a while, most of those haven't really worked. So I can understand why people might be slow to adopt, but talk to us about the risks of not moving forward on this now. Jimmy, what are you telling people?
Well, like I said, I think one of the biggest risks is not being able to support your future clients when the volume does come back. I think maybe 2 years from now. But if you don't have the staff in place, how are you going to get that work done? And is it going to go back to the same old thing where you have people work 12-hour days, you're having them work weekends, and you're burning them out to where they leave, and then as a result of that, your customer satisfaction scores suffer because your service levels are decreasing. So I think that's a huge risk. And then financially, I mean, if your competitors are doing it, I'm not saying just because your competitors are doing it, but if your competitors are doing it and they're finding ways to cut costs, the costs that are, obviously salaries are going to increase as well in the future. So if they're finding ways to keep either their costs stable or reduce them by leveraging these automated tools that can work around the clock, I mean, you're at risk of losing business to your competitors who are, I guess, more efficient with their funds. And then usually, there's going to be people who are into technology who want to come work for companies who are leveraging, the new latest and greatest in technologies. And if they see the companies doing the same old thing, and I'm not saying they're going to be using, notepads and Excel, but if your company isn't as aggressive or progressive with implementing these new technologies such as RPA, maybe you'll run off some of the talent that potentially would otherwise come give your company an opportunity.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Sridhar, other risks that we haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah, so I think scalability is definitely Jimmy touched on it, but when the markets do go up, you don't want to be left behind in hiring people and training them. When you have bots supporting your 40-50% of your process, it's you can scale up bots in a matter of hours and days and increase your capacity from by 2x 3x within a matter of days instead of taking months. So I think that's one of the risks from a growth standpoint. I think Jimmy touched upon the employee risk. If as we know, the market has shortage of talent, and if you don't create processes which are going to give employees better experience, you'll not be able to attract better talent. So.
Absolutely. And by the time the market turns, it could be even worse for our industry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have fewer trained people. So we've talked about a number of the benefits that these new technologies can deliver. If you had to give us bullet points, the benefits, not that we hope to receive, but benefits you guys know you're seeing now, what would you talk about? Jimmy, start with you.
I would say first, I mean, you're taking away some of that monotonous, tedious work from your staff and allowing them to be placed into more, I'd say, high value positions or more customer interfacing positions, or just focusing on something that's just not so, I guess, mindless. I don't want to say mindless, but hey, it's basically something that's more interesting and more engaging. And then we've even had a couple of clients who are saying, well, I'm moving into a new state, but I don't have the staff to really grow in that state. Well, if you can leverage automation and take 50-60% of the work away, then maybe you don't have to hire, say, 6 or 8 people. You just need to hire 3 or 4 people. So I believe, the opportunity to kind of move into different regions or geographies is a benefit from leveraging RPA. And just developing new, say, products or a different type of AI or RPA enhanced products as a result of using tools. Make your company a little bit more attractive.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Sridhar, anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I would say, I was thinking, to put the benefits in 3 categories. The one is from an operational excellence point of view. You're making your processes more accurate, efficient, and your turn times are going to be better than your other competition, as the bots can run 24 hours all day long. Compliance is another big benefit. All the work that the bots are going to perform, they document every step that they perform. So from a compliance standpoint, from an audit trail standpoint, all the data is available to you if we were to go back and look at any of the data. I think we touched upon the employee experience part and the employee retention. That's a huge benefit as well. Cost savings is a given. And lastly, from a customer experience point of view, you can using RPA, you can send real-time status updates to clients, and you can have your employees spend more time on customer support. So a lot of possibilities by leveraging RPA and automation in your business processes.
All right. I can't wait to see what you guys do next. We'll definitely have to have you on the show again. We've been visiting with Jimmy Lewis, Sridhar Loganathan, both from TrueFocus Automation. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick. Have a good day.